This is day 41, bringing you an update on April 29th, 2025. So we were here at Paint Creek. We had a power outage, so we just took our kids out to play on the playground. If you hear them in the background, that's what that is.
It's joy. No one's being murdered.
This is how they play. But we have some updates to share. I spoke with Mickey down in Lebanon Junction, Kentucky. If you saw our video from Easter weekend, we were down there with a camper that had been donated by some people here that wanted to help out. And Mickey is a pastor down there at a church. He was able to get that to a family in need. He got a single mother, her 2 teens, and the grandma. Got them out of a homeless shelter and into this camper. He got that set up last week. He sent me a picture of the family getting settled in, and things are good there. With that family, they do have another family that was displaced. Grandparents that lost their adult son in the flood, unfortunately and sadly, with grandkids, and have lost their home. If anyone has a camper that they could, obviously used is fine, but in decent shape, we can do some minor repairs, but any leaks obviously are not helpful. But any camper that you could donate or give, or if anybody has one that they could spare, we could take that down to them and help them out. And just in general, campers are still needed, not just in Kentucky where the floods have been, in central Kentucky, but in western North Carolina where there are still people displaced from homes. Rebuilding continues, so people are trying to rebuild homes down there, trying to rebuild roads, bridges. There's been a lot of good work done on the main infrastructure. That continues. It's not done yet, but it's been in progress. So apologize for the wind if it's kind of loud here, but
we're expecting storms later.
Yeah.
So.
But they've been able to rebuild a lot of the main roads and are still working on that. But in terms of individual homes and things, there's still a lot of work to do. So we'll be returning down to western North Carolina to work mainly with Cry, Colton and Cody, who we were spending a lot of time with back in March when we were down there. We're going to go Memorial Day weekend. If it's short notice, if anyone wants to join us though, please contact us.
It'd be a perfect time to go because around that time, Memorial Day, people have vacation time and days off and stuff. So we're just making a long weekend out of it. Takes what?
About 6.5 hours to get down to that part of western North Carolina, so it's not too far. We'll also be returning probably the weekend of July 4th, and we can share details with that. You can contact us on Facebook or email if you're watching on YouTube. Email address is in the link, or it's linked in the description down below. So we're looking to collect, if anybody is led to give any kind of gardening supplies, shovels, rakes, gardening gloves, chainsaws, and that kind of stuff, to take down to get to people that are trying to do cleanup work and gardening work out there. There's a lot of people in those mountains that are pretty self-reliant, but because of the floods had lost their gardens and stuff like that.
And they don't have proper soil to plant in anymore either because the flood washed it all out. So they also need some materials for building raised garden beds. So those cedar planks that are not treated, they need those. They need some gardening soil to fill them with, so things like that.
Yeah, and we're getting, we could bring down seeds and stuff too at that point, or that kind of stuff. We're getting a little bit past that point, but to even give them what they need to start those beds, that would be helpful. We could take building supplies. We will try to take down probably like a skid steer or bobcat or something that's of a mid-size to help with clearing out areas. There's a lot of debris that needs to be moved and hauled off. So we are looking to either rent or borrow one of those if anybody has one. I prefer it to be treaded skid steer because wheels they're not very durable for where we're going to be working. So that would not work out, but that's kind of stuff that we need that we can use if we go down there or when we go down there. So we just want to share those updates. We'll post more as we prepare. Hope to talk to Colton and see what's going on. And we always learn things as the trip gets closer because it's a changing situation. So there's always new things that come up, new opportunities to help people and things like that we become aware of as the trip draws closer. So we'll continue to post updates as we prepare. and let everybody know if we hear any updates also from Kentucky.
Yeah, I do want to mention that though. Some people, they want an itinerary, they want all the things planned out, but you really have to be open-minded with this and just go down there knowing that it's going to change day to day. And the last time we went, we had an idea of what we'd be doing, but then a need did arise, and we had to kind of shift our mindset and just be ready to dive in.
There was a couple different things changed. We found out some local needs. The wildfires were going on, so it changed things up. And the wildfires, if as you keep these in Western North Carolina and the surrounding areas in your prayers, wildfires are an ongoing risk. That's a long-term risk because there are so many down trees. When they fall, they let more sunlight in, they open up, and that dries it out even more. So there's, not what would just normally pile up. It's just like a dump of down trees, limbs, and pine needles as well that create that risk. So just pray that people can have what they need to be prepared to clear their properties off. If they have to evacuate, they can keep it from their house, so they can come home to a safe, intact home if the wildfire comes through their area, because it's too much to just move out and eliminate the risk altogether. So please be praying for the people in that area, for safety, for those that are fighting wildfires as they come up. And we will post updates as we know more for this upcoming trip here at the end of May.
Come join us.
Yeah.
You'll be so blessed.
Absolutely.
Bless your heart.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching, and God bless.